In this video, we want to explain the electrical requirements. I'm not going to go into large detail in this video because we've done other more in-depth videos of generator use and what kind of extension cords and what kind of electric is required for the machine. But we do need a dedicated 15 amp circuit, which we have the steamer plugged directly into right now. I realize that there's going to be a lot of people buying these machines that are on a mobile basis, that are working out in the field, and you need to provide your own source of electricity, which would be a generator. I've done a couple of different videos on generator use and how the generator, what kind of power the generator needs to provide. So please see those videos on what kind of power the generator needs to provide. Now, I don't have a generator here, so I can't explain each individual generator differently. That would be for you to understand the requirements that you need on your generator and what your generator is putting out before you even think about running the Chief steamer on a generator. One thing I can explain, though, is what an extension cord and what I think a poor extension cord choice would be. This is a relatively poor extension cord. This will work in a situation where if I need to test the machine real quick, if I know I'm not going to be running something for a long period of time, but I would not run the steamer for a very long time on this extension cord. Now, this extension cord is only 15 feet. This is 14 gauge wire. Many people want to run this type of extension cord, 14 gauge wire, at not only longer than 15 feet, 25, 50, even 100 feet. I guarantee that's going to damage the steamer. We do not want you to run a 14 gauge extension cord of any length using the steamer. I want it to be 12 gauge, which is a lot fatter than this one, and it's going to be more expensive than this one. So if you go into a Home Depot or a Lowe's, you will see the difference between the price and what these extension cords look like. The 12 gauge extension cords is going to have more copper in the wiring. Therefore, it's going to be a fatter extension cord. It's going to conduct electricity a lot easier. Now, what we've seen, people have problems with using poor choices of extension cords, is they've used these poor choices of extension cords, 14 gauge wire. They've had the steamer cord plugged in like this. It's been 25, 50, even 100 feet. And then they'll call me up and they'll tell me that this has fused to this because there's been so much heat created at this junction point that they can't separate the power cord from the extension cord. And then they wonder what to do. In that case, you just basically have to chop off your power cord of the steamer and put another grounded plug on it. But this is a problem. If this ever fuses to this, we've created way too much heat going into the machine, and that puts a lot of stress on the electrical components. And that's something that, if that happens, I'm not going to warranty it. We want to make sure that the steamer has the correct power provided to it at all times. Using the correct outlet at the correct amps is the first step. The generator, if you need to use one, is the second step, making sure you have enough power there. And third is making sure that any extension cord you use is going to be rated at 12 gauge, no longer than 50 feet.